Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Tuesday. So today we are doing an Ulta anti-haul, and I've never done one in this particular format here where I am anti-hauling the newest catalog, but I thought this would be kind of a fun, different way to go about it here. Obviously, you guys are not going to see my face today, but I figured it would be a little bit easier to see the catalog if I just sort of laid it down on the floor in front of me here, and we could go through it that way. A couple weeks ago, I did do a Sephora anti-haul. If you missed that, I will link it down below. I definitely got this idea from Kimberly Clark, and I've been doing these anti-hauls for a little while now, and they really have been helpful for me to talk myself out of things that I don't necessarily need, things that I might be tempted to buy just because I have a YouTube channel and I feel like I have to review all the things, but in reality, I don't. This is my channel. I get to review the things that I want, and if I truly don't want to try something, then I shouldn't pressure myself to buy it. By the way, if you hear any tapping behind me, my dog, Mr. Kong, he's walking around and just sniffing at all the things. So anyway, this is just a great way for me to keep myself in check. I'm trying to not spend quite as much on beauty and skincare this year as I did last year. I do have some different expenses coming up this year, and for me, I would rather put the bulk of my extra fun money towards things like new furniture and stuff like that than cosmetics or skincare necessarily. So doesn't mean I'm not going to be hauling anything on this channel, but I'm just trying to be a little bit more picky. So this is the newest Ulta catalog here, and I starred the things that I have talked myself out of, and I'm going to talk you guys through the reasons behind anti-hauling some of these things, because maybe if you are tempted by them and you don't necessarily need them, these reasons will sort of resonate with you, and maybe, you know, you won't spend the money on them if you don't necessarily need these products. I will, however, link everything down below so that if you didn't get the catalog, you can go read about these things online yourself and just kind of decide for yourself personally if these are worth the investment or not. So I'm going to start with the new Bye Bye Pores foundation from It Cosmetics. The reason that I'm anti-hauling this is because I have just learned over the years that any type of quote-unquote liquid foundation it just doesn't work for me. I have tried many. There are some that work better than others, obviously, but because of my extremely oily skin type, liquid foundation just tends to melt off of my face to some degree, no matter what. It can be specifically designed for extremely oily skin, and it will still melt off my face. It just doesn't work. And I'm always tempted to buy new foundations when they come out because I think, well, maybe this one will be it. But usually I either end up returning it or passing it along, and I don't reach for them. I reach for my powder foundations, and I'm just going to stick with that. So I'm going to say no to this new Bye Bye Pores foundation, even though it is supposed to be a really nice full coverage moisturizing foundation. It's supposed to have anti-aging benefits. It obviously has the SPF of 50, which I think is amazing. Those of you who do like liquid foundation, I think it's great to purchase a foundation that has a high SPF in it. You should be wearing SPF 30 or above every single day, no matter what, rain or shine. So this might be a great option for you. It's just not a good option for me. So let's go ahead and start going through. I did use this to do my 21 days of beauty recommendations. If you missed that video, I will link that down below as well. So some of these stars are from that. Let's talk about this Too Faced Unicorn collection. I have to say, the older I get, and not like I'm, you know, I'm not 105 years old, but I am 39. I'll be 40 this year. The older I get, the less I'm attracted to the specifically Too Faced releases. I do think that they are a brand that is geared maybe towards a slightly younger crowd, maybe teens and 20s, maybe even some women, you know, like well into their 30s. But I find that most people who are heading into the 40s and 50s, we don't tend to wear colors like this on any kind of regular basis. Now, I can appreciate how adorable and cute this whole unicorn collection is. And Stella actually saw this and was like, oh, I love it. But this, I am never going to wear like 90% of these eyeshadow shades. I'm never going to wear these lip shades. I don't do highlighter, period, much less rainbow highlighter. I don't do bronzers, especially shimmery bronzers. I don't do highlighting sticks. And I don't do cooling pearlescent face mists. Oh my gosh, this is my worst nightmare right here, because when I see like pearlescent face mist, I just think glitter bomb on my face. So yeah, this is all like a whole page of a whole lot of no for me. And again, it's cute. It's just, I feel like I've kind of outgrown Too Faced. Now, every once in a while, they do come out with a really great neutral eyeshadow palette that I'm all about. They just recently released, and this is just on their website. I'll link them down below because I am interested in these. There's these new coconut butter lip balm, lipstick type things that are in just shades of nude. Now that I can get behind, and I'll probably end up purchasing at least one of those to try out. But this whole festival collection here with the unicorns and it's just, I don't know. I'm past that point in my life, I feel like. And it kind of makes me sad to say that because, ugh, my youth, it's just fading away. But I also appreciate all the things that come with age, you know, the extra wisdom, I don't know, aches and pains. You know, I'm trying to appreciate this stage of life, and this just doesn't fit into this stage of life for me. All right, over here, we have Laura Geller. You guys know that I really like Laura Geller. However, this Alanized collection, I believe this is a collab either with an Instagrammer or a YouTuber. I don't know. I don't know this person. But it is a highlighter in a shade called Tempting Topaz. First off, that color would just not suit me at all. And I have to admit, lip glosses that have a lot of like iridescent shimmer in them, while I think they're pretty in like the container, I don't like that on my lips at all. When I think like holographic or like iridescent lip products, I think of like the 80s, which not a bad decade, loved it. But there, for some reason, that type of lip product that has that metallicized or holographic or iridescent finish, I just don't like it. It just looks really dated to me for some reason. I mean, everything, you know, goes around in circles in terms of fashion and makeup and all of this stuff. So, you know, this was bound to come back in, but for some reason, it's just a big fat no for me. So this is a cute little collection for 28 bucks. And I guess if that highlighter shade is something that is appealing to you, maybe it's a nice kit for a good deal. And you also get it looks like you get a free deluxe Lash Boss mascara with any $35 Laura Geller purchase, which I do love that Ulta does these free gifts. There's one up here for Becca as well, and then there's one over here with Cover FX. I'm not even going to touch this stuff because you guys know that's already like a big fat no, but I just thought I'd talk about the fact that iridescent pearlescent lip products are just the wrong decade for me. Okay, here is a new eyeshadow palette by Bare Minerals. I really love Bare Minerals eyeshadow palettes, but for some reason, this color collection here, and I actually saw this in person in store. This is called the Desert Nudes Ready Eyeshadow Palette. I saw this in store and I played with it, and I did not like these colors. This just seems like a very odd collection to me. I see what they were doing with the shades in terms of they are desert inspired. I mean, I can totally see like cactus and, you know, like red clay and, you know, things that you see in a desert perhaps. But these are just not my colors at all. Really nice finish. If you do like these colors, the quality is amazing. So for $34, if you like the color selection here, I can recommend it. But for me, this color selection was just like way off. By the way, I did purchase Soft Glam. This was not going to be a thing for me, but once I saw it in person, I had to have it. So I will do a review on that. That might be coming next week though. I think that'll probably be coming next week. So stay tuned for that. I do want to play with it a little bit more before I talk about it. Okay, Urban Decay. I have not purchased anything from Urban Decay in quite some time. I feel like they tend to do a lot of the same thing over and over again. They're kind of like Too-Faced in that way. I have not written them off entirely as a company, but I'm definitely not getting this Naked Heat mini. I do have the Urban Decay Naked Basics 2, and the format of this Naked Heat Basics palette here is basically the same idea. You're just getting a few shades that, you know, are meant to be a smaller palette that you can easily coordinate together, get some nice simple looks out of. But I just don't like these orangey rusty shades. They're not my favorite. So that's a no for me, as is this. I think this is actually kind of a fun palette here, but if I'm going to be honest, I'm probably not going to use this bronzer shade, Paranoid. And I'm probably not going to use this shade right here, PSA. I'm assuming this is a highlighter. This would be way too dark for me. And I feel like this light pink here would be too light and just the wrong tone of pink. So for the 1, 2, 3 items that I may use out of this, it's just not worth the investment for me. The palette is $39, and again, it's just something that I wouldn't use enough of the products in here to make it worthwhile. Okay, I'm also including this new Pure Seamless Shimmer and Matte Shades eyeshadow palette. It's actually called the Visionary Eye Palette. Again, I think these are really pretty colors in here. I'm just not going to wear these on a daily basis. Ugh. I do love that they did removable magnetic pans in here, so you can totally pop these out, and if you have other Pure eyeshadows, you can pop those in here. So I like that you can customize this. I think that's really nice. However, I just wouldn't reach for this on any kind of regular basis, and I'm really trying to be picky about the eyeshadow palettes that I bring into my collection. I did a fairly huge eyeshadow declutter. I can't remember if it was earlier this year or late last year, but I got rid of quite a bit. And after that, I sort of promised myself that I wouldn't bring in a ton more eyeshadow palettes into my collection unless I really loved like 90% of the shadows that were in each of the palettes that I was bringing in. If I wasn't going to reach for at least 90% of the shades in the palette, it wasn't worth purchasing the palette. So that's my new kind of standard, and I definitely would not reach for 90% of what's in here. I feel like I need to speed it up. Okay, I've been talking for a while here. I am not buying any of this new Pop Sugar, Beauty by Pop Sugar stuff. It just doesn't appeal to me. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. I can't put it into words, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, nope. I'm also not going to buy this new It Cosmetics brow powder. I don't like it when companies come out with quote-unquote universal eyebrow products, whether it's a pencil or a powder, because I don't think that there is necessarily a universal shade. Usually anything that is quote unquote universal is way too orange on me. You guys know that I have gray hair. I need a gray brow powder. Taupe doesn't work for me anymore. It used to when I had blonde hair. It does not work with my shade of gray hair. There are some gray-haired ladies out there who, you know, can definitely pull off a taupe, but a lot of times taupe just tends to turn orange on me for some reason. So for me, this is not universal. I'm not even going to bother with it because I'd probably just end up returning it. So no to that. I feel bad like I'm picking on It Cosmetics, but I don't know. Anyway, this Woosh Beauty palette here, I don't tend to really reach for palettes that have multiple face items in them. So eyeshadows, correctors, blushes, face powders. I just don't reach for stuff like this. So that's a big old no for me. And I did want to talk about a few drugstore products in here as well. I don't talk about drugstore a whole lot. And I know that people wish that I would buy a little bit more from the drugstore, but it just, if I find something that appeals to me, I am more than happy to purchase it. But if things don't appeal to me, I just don't want to spend the money on them. You know, I'm kind of past the point of buying things, like I said, just because I have a YouTube channel. I don't have the money to blow on this kind of stuff the way that I used to. Like I said, my fun money is going towards some bigger, more serious purchases at this point. So unless something really pops out at me, I'm not gonna buy it. So I have never purchased anything from ColourPop. I've never purchased anything from Morphe or BH Cosmetics. I know these are really popular drugstore companies to purchase from. The pricing of these products is fantastic, and I do think you can probably find some amazing things here. So I do not want to discourage you guys from buying this stuff. It's just my own personal thing right now at this point in my life. However, nothing from ColourPop in terms of specifically eyeshadow palettes or BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes or even Morphe eyeshadow palettes has ever stood out to me to where I'm like, I need that. Because you know what? I have a whole ton of high-end eyeshadows that have probably at least, at minimum, 80% of any of the shades that you're going to find in any of these palettes here. So yeah, they're not all going to be in one palette, but I can piece them together. So I don't need to spend money on these less expensive options because I already have like the higher end version of those things in my collection, and I should be shopping my collection a little bit more before going out and just buying stuff like this because A, it's cheap, or you know, it's a really popular thing right now, or maybe I just want to try it, you know, because usually if I just want to try something, I end up not reaching for it long term. So I just encourage you guys to think about even the drugstore stuff in this same way, because you probably already have a lot of these really nice neutral shades here in some of your other palettes. It's not a necessity to buy, you know, this palette here. Now, granted, it's 16 bucks. It's not a ton of money. $16 can be a lot to, you know, some people, but if you don't need it, I don't think you should buy it. Just think about these things just a little bit more. But anyway, I thought I'd go ahead and address that. You know, I think drugstore makeup has definitely come a long way, but with it coming a long way, it has also become a little bit more expensive than what it used to be. So for me, saving just a few more dollars, I can get one thing from a high-end brand instead of buying multiple things from a drugstore brand, and I may not reach for those multiple things long term. So is it really worth it for me to spend the money on that stuff? Probably not. Anyway, that's it. There's my anti-haul. Again, if you missed this 21 days of beauty recommendations video, I will link that down below. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch today, and pardon my crazy dry hands. Oh man, I need to go put some lotion on. They're so sad. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let me know what you're anti-hauling and what your thoughts are on anti-hauls, and have they caused you to change your mind about your shopping habits? I'm really curious. They really have for me personally, and it's been really useful for me to watch these types of videos. I love watching other YouTubers do them. So anyway, have a great day, you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.